Hey everybody, so I know I told you guys that I would pull all of the videos together thus far in nutrition and how to, implement it into your own personal needs. So this is going to be a little complicated. Like I said, you can go ask Gronk or any AI to calculate your BMR, which we'll do first, and then we're going to do our TEE, which is our total energy expenditure. Okay, so this is how we get started. This is my information. You're gonna have to plug yours in. So it's gonna ask you what your sex is, your age in years, your weight, your height, and your activity factor, which we'll talk about later so you can figure out which one is most related to your daily life, okay? So just plug in your info. We will have to convert our weight and our height to kilograms and centimeters. So this is going to be step one. We're going to convert our units. So to convert pounds to kilograms, you're going to divide them by 2.2. And then to convert inches into centimeters, you're going to multiply it by 2.54. And then that'll give you, I did the math right here for mine. I am 56.82 kilograms, and then I am also 152.4 centimeters, okay? So you're gonna have to convert your pounds and your inches into kilograms and centimeters with these given numbers. Divided by 2.2 for kilograms times 2.54 for centimeters. You have to do inches. So 5 feet is 60 inches. So that's why, because I'm 5 feet tall, I put 60 inches. If you're 5'5", you're gonna put, 65. So that's just a little rule of thumb. Okay, so this is the BMR formula for women, okay? It is pretty complicated. Your BMR is gonna be equal to 10 times your weight in kilograms plus, this is a given number, 6.25 times your height in centimeters minus 5, which is a given number, times your age in years minus 161, which is also a given, and the 5 is a given if I didn't say that also. Adjust for your activity factor, which we'll learn about in a second. This is the BMR formula for men. So men is going to be 10 times your weight in kilograms plus 6.25 times your height in centimeters minus 5 times your age in years plus 5. And then we're going to adjust here for activity factor as well. Men and women have different formulas. Okay, so this is an example with the information that I had earlier. This is mine. We're going to calculate my total energy expenditure. So it's going to be 10 times my weight in kilograms, 56.82, plus 6.25 times my height in centimeters, which is going to be 152.4, minus 5 times my age, 39, minus 161. And that is going to equal to 1164, 1,164.7 calories a day that I burn just by my body doing my metabolism, my blood pumping, pretty much at rest is what your BMR is going to equal to. So then I have an activity factor. I'm lightly active 1 to 3 days a week. So I get to multiply by my activity factor to get my total energy expenditure. So the more you work out, the more calories you can eat. So with my activity factor, which is a given, and we'll go over in a second, is 1.375. So I'm going to multiply that times my BMR, and that's going to give me my total energy expenditure. So I can eat approximately 1,600 calories a day. Okay, so now what's up with this activity factor and how does it affect how much you can eat? So naturally, the more you work out, the more you can eat. We all know that, that's just common sense. So there's 5 different activity factors, okay? The first one is going to be sedentary, little to no exercise. You can multiply the BMR that you calculate times 1.2. That's going to be a given. And that'll give you your total energy expenditure if you are sedentary. I did lightly active because I do exercise 1 to 3 days a week. So my BMR can be multiplied by 1.375. You see, as we go down, the more active you get, the higher your multiple is, which means the more calories that you're adding. The third one will be moderately active, moderate exercise 3 to 5 days a week. Your BMR times 1.55 will be sufficient for that category. Very active is hard exercise 6 to 7 days a week, and your BMR can be multiplied by 1.725. And then extra active is very active. If you have like a physical job and you're working out, that would be considered in this category. Your BMR will be times 1.9. So your activity factor will be multiplied to get your total energy expenditure. Your BMR, which we calculated with that long formula earlier, will be multiplied by your activity factor, and that'll give you how many calories you're supposed to eat each day. So here's my example again. This is mine. My BMR calculated if I would do no exercise, this is how much my body would burn. If I wanted to stay the same weight, that's how much I would have to eat to stay the same weight. If you want to adjust for your activity factor, okay, so 1,600 calories is what I'm burning because of my activity. So if I wanted to stay the same weight, I would eat 1,600 calories. If I want to lose weight, I'd have to deduct from that daily. Or if you're trying to gain weight, you would want to add to that daily. So depending on your needs, you can adjust accordingly. It's good to start with maybe like a 200 calorie like deficit or increase to see how that works, and then build upon there. Most women need at least 1,200 calories just, for the basic function. So that's something to keep in mind if you're small and your calorie, like my BMR is under 1,200 calories, just a little bit, but you should eat at least 1,200 calories. Okay, so this is common macronutrient ratios. I did mine based off of a balance. That'll be general health and maintenance is what you're trying to accomplish. You're going to eat 50% carbs, 20% protein, and 30% fat. Another common macronutrient ratio, depending on your needs, is moderate carb, which is an active lifestyle and weight maintenance. That'll be 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fat. And then the third one will be like a low carb, high protein. That's for fat loss and muscle preservation. So that's gonna be 30% carbs, 35% protein, and 35% fat. Okay, so like I said, I did mine based off of the first one, the balanced ratio, and you can adjust it accordingly depending on your needs. Okay, so with the balance ratio and the 50% carbs, the 20% protein, and the 30% fat, my TEE, we just rounded it off to 1,600 calories I'm supposed to eat per day. So to get this calculation, to see how many carbs we're supposed to eat, we're gonna do 1,600 times 0.5, which will give us, that stands for 50%, and that'll equal 800 calories we should be getting from carbohydrates. And then protein, we're trying to take in approximately 20%. So we'll do 16 times 0.2 for the 20%, and that equals approximately 320 calories from protein. And then fat will be 30%, so we'll do 16 times 0.3, and that'll equal 480 80 calories that we should be getting from fat. Okay, so remember how we talked about there's 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates and protein, and there's 9 calories per gram of fat. So let's convert the calories to grams, okay? Let's see if we can get this far. It's a little complicated, so just bear with me and review it if you don't understand it the first time. So we're getting our 800 calories from carbohydrates. So the 800 divided by 4 calories per gram is going to give us 200 grams per day of carbohydrates. Then protein, we have our number up here, 320 calories we're supposed to be getting from protein. So we're going to divide that by 4 because there's 4 calories per gram. And that'll equal 80 grams a day of protein I should be consuming. And then fat, we got our number from up here as well, 480 calories. And fat is going to be, instead of divided by 4, it's going to be divided by 9 because it's 9 calories per gram. It's more nutrient dense, more calorie dense. And that's going to equal approximately 53.33 grams a day of fat I should be eating. So that kind of puts everything into perspective. So the final breakdown would be this. Just to give yourself a ballpark, to know where you are, to know how many calories you're burning a day is a win for you, because now you're not just basing it off of what you think, it's actual off of knowledge and real mathematical calculations to help you maintain your weight up or down, and just do the best that you can. So once you do your calculations, knowledge is power. You know where you're at, how much you're supposed to be consuming, and you can add or subtract depending on your needs from there. And putting the activity factor on paper and into perspective, the more that you move, the more that you can eat. So if you like to eat a lot, you're gonna have to move around if you wanna maintain your weight. And I do sell hula hoops. My name's Megan, and I'm the owner of I Dream of Hoops. I custom make hula hoops depending on your needs and what sizes you like. I do make them for adults. A lot of adults say, oh man, I can't hula hoop anymore. It's not that you can't hula hoop, you just don't have the right size. You need an adult size hula hoop. So I would be happy to get you active at home, get you educated in diet, and hopefully change your life for the better, because it really is a lifestyle change, and it's about small little changes that'll add up over time and make you the best self. Thanks guys, and I hope I just spread a little bit of knowledge and that you guys have a starting point, and we're gonna just expand from here. So stay tuned and like and subscribe.